Are you sure?
Yes, he had Ethan's drawings. That means it came inside. Even with the talisman in the door, it was inside. In the middle of the day.
Oh my God. Is Tabitha actually sharing her thoughts with another human in Fromville? Okay, let's dissect this a little bit because you know how the town of Fromville is always giving its inhabitants something that they think they want, something that they think could help the town, help them all escape this nightmare that they're in. I think that we should pay careful attention to this new development in Tabitha's behavior because that, what she's doing, is exactly what we, the fans of the show, have always wanted. So, should we trust this? Because it's exactly what we've been asking for all this time. Communicate. Tabitha, speak. Okay, so let's just like calm down a little bit and just make sure the writers aren't trolling us for a second. Either way, I was so happy, just like you, to see that. And this is no disrespect to the beautiful actor who plays Tabitha Matthews. Her name is Catalina Sandino Moreno, and she's beautiful and she is doing such a great job acting and just taking this craft seriously that it shows how frustrated we all are that she's not communicating, and that's exactly how she's written. And the way that she can portray that demeanor of the character or that decision the character is making to frustrate all of us just shows, you know, her talent. It shows how well she can perform the craft, and you know, for that matter, every other cast member as well. I was just so happy to see that, and I'm so happy to give you guys this review of from season 4, episode 9. It's just one more episode away from the finale, and I am actually terrified. I'm horrified because I've developed some, you know, emotional attachments to the characters. You know, I don't want to see anyone go, but you know, like a lot of these situations go down, there's going to be some character deaths, there's going to be some misfortunate things, but also some prizes and awards I think that the characters will receive for all of their suffering. That's what I'm really hoping to see. And yeah, so I just want to break down this episode and everything that I thought was special in it, and what I hope to see in the finale as well. So in this episode, Jade, you know, he decides to enter the tunnels to be the sacrifice, and that is a complete like 180 character adjustment for his character because he came into the town being stuck up, you know, pretentious, only thinking about himself. So it shows that he actually believes in these visions that he has of digging up the children's remains, and he knows that that's going to put people at risk, and there more than likely will not be some people leaving those tunnels, right? So he wants to put himself at risk, right? And I just think that is a beautiful thing. It means that he cares about solving this mystery. And the second part is Sophia transferring her blood to Clara to manipulate the town, right? And when I see Clara essentially drip her blood in that mug and then give it to Tabitha, I'm like, wow, this is the mechanism of the town and how the people are manipulated. One really cool theory that I have is just in the same way that Sophia transfers her blood to Clara, right? That's like a strength that the man in yellow slash Sophia has. But with every strength, there is a weakness as well. Sometimes it's twofold, right? So we already saw Boyd transfer his blood to Smiley when he received it from Martin. And I'm pretty sure it's well assumed that Martin is the man in yellow. That is the big theory that makes the most congruent sense to me. But we already saw Boyd do it. So what's to say that Tabitha can't do it? What's to say that Tabitha can't transfer her blood into the golem that she created to protect the town? And then maybe in that way, the golem will come to life and protect the Frumville inhabitants from the ghostly creatures that's walking around just desperate to slash them to pieces. I would love to see that. Um, the one heartbreaking aspect about this episode too is Victor's father Henry, right? And you know, every time he goes into those visions of him in the psych ward or the hospital, where the characters are attempting to convince him to essentially delete Victor in the real world. That's heartbreaking because it's like this is when the people are at their most vulnerable, especially Henry. He hadn't seen his son for years, and that's all he wanted to do. He lost his entire family to this nightmarish town, right? So the fact that the town and the man in yellow are trying to get him to get rid of Victor, and they're basically sort of poking a vulnerable bear. That's what it really kind of seems like. I feel sorry for Henry, and I hope he does not take the bait. I hope he can see that when he sits down, all the walls are yellow. Why are all the walls yellow? He has to, somewhere in his subconscious, remember that Victor led him to the man in yellow's yellow suit, right? It's no coincidence that all the walls are yellow. You know what I'm saying? So I hope he kind of cues in on that and overcomes the manipulation, the deceit. We also see Clara give Fatima the affected drink. And I feel so sorry for Fatima in this sense because it's like she is being like thrown left and right. She can't catch a break. I'm hoping that she can actually turn all this around with that golem that she made, and basically, give the town what it needs. You feel me? One of the more heartbreaking aspects of this episode was when Boyd was in the church praying to God and basically coming to terms with God that he has accepted his fate, whatever God has for him. So essentially what that means is Boyd doesn't really plan on leaving that town alive. He doesn't plan on dying a righteous death. Essentially, he's accepted his fate, whatever he believes God set forth for him. All he cares about is getting the people of the town home safe and away from those creatures. Because if he doesn't, then everything would be in vain. Him having to sacrifice his wife for Ellis would be in complete vain. And I think that is the ultimate stake right there. Because if he doesn't succeed, then his wife died for nothing. And that is heartbreaking, but it also, I guess, puts a battery on his back to do what he needs to do and to go that extra mile. Another part of that scene was when Sarah decides to go with Boyd to help with the tunnels. To be honest with you, Sarah is the only one who I stand on par with Boyd when it comes to conviction. Now, she's had a questionable past in the town, we all know. Getting, signs and messages from voices and what we assume to be the man in yellow today, telling her to harm people in the town. But we got to remember that she only did that because she believed that it would get people out of the town, that it would help them escape and free them from this nightmare. She also poked out Elgin's eye, right? Thinking that it would help them get answers and save Tabitha, which she was right. So when it comes to conviction, I know that Sarah is willing to do whatever it takes. And the team up with her and Boyd, just like in a prior season, is exactly what the town needs. And Sarah, that's why Sarah is one of my favorite characters of the show. Tabitha sees the 7 children pointing at Ethan, right? So I had a theory that, like, what if Ethan was the 8th child that wasn't sacrificed? And that's what the 7 children, the creepy children, were pointing at. Subliminally letting Tabitha know that Ethan needed to be sacrificed. But then I thought about this aspect. Well, Tabitha had another child named Thomas who died. What if instead of Ethan being sacrificed, Julie story walked back to the time when Thomas died and inadvertently caused Thomas's death, which then made him swap the place for Ethan so that he didn't have to be sacrificed. It's just a theory that I have. Please let me know what you think about it in the comment section. And then that leads me to Julie and her story walking. She had a conversation with Tabitha and Ethan in the kitchen, and she seems to just give up on the plot. Like she's totally disgruntled and discouraged from continuing further with her story walking, right? Which it was kind of unsettling to see because once you know you can story walk and go to different time references of the town, then that's power, and you've got to do everything you can to figure out how to master that power in order to save people. So I'm hoping in the finale, she actually decides to get back to the storyline and start story walking again. You feel me? Now, I want to discuss one other thing. Elgin. Bro, listen, man. The real actor, his name is Nathan. You're doing a great job, bro. But Elgin, I'm not talking to you, Nathan. I'm talking to Elgin, the character in the show. I want to revoke your black card, sir. I want to take it away because why are you in a town where mysterious, creepy shit happens and you see a picture of Sophia from the past? You know, that's not good. You don't go to her and say, hey, this girl looks just like you. You know that was her. And I was thinking what everyone else was thinking when we saw him walk up to her with that Polaroid picture.
Why?
Okay.
Why? Like, bro. Oh my God. Elgin. Oh man. You're cooked and you're done for. And that's kind of your fault, bro. I loved your character, man. But we'll see what happens to you in the finale. And then finally, we have Jade and Tabitha who goes into the tunnels and actually finds the children's remains, the bones. And the ghostly creatures are back there watching them, right? The thing that really, pointed out to me in the episode was when Clara told Sophia that it was only going to be Jade and Tabitha who goes into the tunnels. Now, earlier, Sophia said that, how you do something is more important than you doing it, because that town is surrounded by some sort of ancient magic. So everything is ritual based. So you have to do certain things in a certain way. So when she hears Clara say that it's only Jade and Tabitha, she gets super worried. You could see the worried emotion on her face as she asks Clara, well, why didn't you tell me that sooner? Right? She's worried about something, right? Also, there is another shot where Sophia is looking at a boat, a toy boat in the diner. And that to me was like a callback to when Boyd's wife had threw him those boat keys. He always wanted the boat and he got it. I think that is super significant. And I think it's something we should pay attention to. I think, the key to leaving the town has something to do with Boyd's boat. But we'll see. Thank you so much for being a part of this reaction and review to season 4, episode 9. And I just love this show. And hopefully I get to connect with more fans of the show and, join more shows and talk about the show. I love mysterious, great writing, and that's what this show is. Even though it pisses us off sometimes, what I'm saying? It gets on your nerves because you're emotionally connected. But at the same time, it's a good time. It's great horror, and I just absolutely love it. Please share your comments and theories in the comment section of this video, because I would love to hear what you guys think. If there's anyone out there like me who was just obsessed with the show, I would really appreciate to hear your thoughts about this and how excited you are for the season finale leading up to season 5, which they're currently shooting now. So thank you so much for listening to my take on this episode. This is The Author Lake Sevens by A Dark Lake Edit. Let's go.